helping out on the chat roll. Hi, everyone. Yes, I'm going to be answering questions in the chat. So if this is one of your first webinars with us, you're going to see an option there to log into the chat roll. You might have to scroll for it if you're on a mobile device. You do have to log into that with your Facebook or your Twitter account, but it is totally optional, although we do encourage everyone to log into it because it just makes it more interactive and more fun while you're watching this. You can ask me anything you want at any time, although I tell everyone don't get too carried away with asking me a whole bunch of questions right off the bat, because Mike's going to share his screen here in a moment, and there will be a presentation which should answer most of your questions. If not, we'll have a lot of time at the end for questions and answers, so don't worry too much. And the other thing I always like to tell everyone is that this is a global business. We've got people coming to our webinar now from all over the world in every different time zone. So one thing we always like to start off with is where you're from. If you put in there in that chat where you're from, we'll get started right away here. All right, folks, get settled in. We're going to hold you here for about the next 90 minutes. And in that time, what I want to do is really introduce you not only to what it means to work online, but also how you can use this system to actually be successful at it. What we've put together here is pretty remarkable because it's working for people all over the world, which is pretty unusual. There's not too many things that can say it'll work for anybody regardless of where they live. So we're going to introduce you to not only the system and how it works, but we're also going to introduce you to some of the people using the system. You'll notice below me here, we've got a panel of folks. These people have all generously agreed to give us some of their time tonight to come on and talk straight from the source about what their results have been. So I'm going to get right into it and share my screen. And as I say, let's get this show on the road. So folks, just bear with me. There's going to be a little bit of a pause while I share my screen. All right, beautiful. All right, guys. So the whole goal here tonight is how to get you started with your own successful online business. Note the S word, successful. So while you're getting settled in and telling us a bit about yourselves, we'll go ahead and do the same. I'll start with Darren and I, and then you'll hear from these awesome other folks in a while. Darren and I guess you could say, are digital nomads. But what we also are marketing mentors. We basically spend our career now helping other people get up and running with successful online businesses. We've been working ourselves online for years and have ran businesses all over the world thanks to the online space. Folks, if I can do it, you can do it. And the reason that we do these presentations live every week, twice a week, and have been for years now, is because we want to show you just how powerful this can be. You know, there's a lot of people that say money doesn't make the world go round. And yeah, it's not the most important thing in life, but it is also one of the biggest causes of stress in life. There's a lot of relationships that are breaking up, of course, over lack of money, the stress that it causes, and it doesn't do a lot of people a lot of favors, or I should say the lack of money. That might be a better way to put it. So if I can get you up and running with a successful online business and remove some of the stress that you've got in your life because of that kind of lack of financial security, well, guys, as far as I'm concerned, we've done a job well done indeed. So is this going to work for you? Well, I can say it will, because at the end of the day, what we've put together here is pretty remarkable. It is a system that has been built by experts, a system that's been built by experts to actually help the everyday person succeed. You see, what we've put together here, folks, are literally all of the sales tools, all of the training, and even now the products that you need to get up and running with a successful business. Everything you need all bundled together. It's that simple. And the reason that this works as well as it does for people is because you don't need a business background. You don't need to be a technological guru to make it work. Folks, if you want to work online, you are in the right place. So before we start talking too much about the system, let me introduce you to my co-presenter tonight, Leanne, who is coming at us live from Houston, Texas, who also uses the same system as the rest of us guys and used it to fire her boss in just 6 weeks and 2 days. So Leanne, why don't you come on here and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thank you, Mike, and welcome to all of you from all over the world. I'm super excited that you are here with us. I will tell you just briefly about me. I am from Houston, Texas. I've been running my business for about 3.5 years online now. Prior to that, I did not know a thing about the online world. I didn't know anything about how the really how the internet business works. I didn't know how people were making money online, period. To tell you the truth. I come from the corporate world. I come from the 8 to 5 daily grind, being an employee, medical device sales, pharmaceutical sales, and that's what I did my whole working career. But you see, I have two beautiful children who are now 20 and 17. And I was 16 and 13 when I started this business. My regret is that I didn't start sooner. My other regret that makes me really sad is that I was not there for them for all their after school activities, for their homework, for the times when they really, really, truly needed them. And that was my why. That was my reason for jumping into the online world, considering I knew nothing. I literally drew a sand and said, you know what, enough is enough. I'm not going to live like this anymore. I want more for my family. I want more for my future, and we deserve it. So I jumped online, I jumped into the training, and I fired my boss 6 weeks and 2 days later. So that's a very good story. And that's just the beginning. But moving on, we're talking about you tonight. So let's talk about what you're going to learn tonight. So you're going to start to learn how to grow your own online business, grow it as fast as possible, because that's really the goal, is to get you up and running so you can start making money as quickly as possible using these automated systems, and plug into our system and hear and see from people from all over the world that are plugging into the same system that are making these huge commissions and firing their bosses or creating their dream lifestyle, whatever that looks like for them. But let's kind of shift gears and ask, why people are making the move to online. I mean, that sounds so obvious when you look around, because stores are closing right and left, and we see automation, technology, and robotics and artificial intelligence just popping up everywhere in places you wouldn't even imagine. So what's happening, though, is as we're moving so quickly into this technological phase of our lives, which is not going to stop, unfortunately, about 10,000 people a month are losing their jobs because they're being replaced by automation technology. And that's the true reality. So that's why now is the time to start learning how to make money online, whether you're working full-time or not. Now is the time. Now, all that being said, the internet's still very young. It's moving at a very, 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 very fast rate, and it's not going to slow down. But if you don't start now, you'll be so far behind the curve that it's going to be a little difficult to catch up. And here's what we know, and we prove every day, that the action takers of today will be the millionaires of tomorrow. And we have quite a few using our systems right now here in our community that I'm so, so proud of.
Boy, oh boy. You know what, folks? Things move fast in the online space. And it's true. You take action today, and if things go well, you can see dramatic results as soon as tomorrow. And here's a sampling of what we're talking about. Here is some of the people that are using our system all over the world that have been able to fire their boss. What I love about this slide is you can see they come from all different walks of life, all different ages, colors, locations. It doesn't matter who you are, where you live, or where you come from. This can work for you. That's what I love most about this program, guys. So how ready are you to fire your boss and make something happen for yourself? Well, if any of this is starting to sound like it might be good for you guys, I know it is, because I also know that by getting up every morning and going and working for somebody else, all you're really doing is making somebody else wealthy. You're never going to become wealthy yourself in the 9-to-5 world. The system's just not set up that way, guys. If you really want to make something happen for yourself, this is it. You've got to get into the online space, and you need a system like this to work for you, because here is your best opportunity to spend more time with your family, to have the money on hand to do the things you want to do together, and to secure your future. We're all told that we're supposed to have a nest egg to retire on, right? Funny thing about that nest egg, nobody can really explain to you how you're supposed to come up with it. Well, it doesn't really work. The numbers don't add up. If you're working for somebody else in the 9-to-5 world, pretty hard to scrape together a nest egg of any real value to actually retire on. But folks, here's the deal. When you have an automated online business, it keeps generating revenue for you. Doesn't matter if you're 20 or 100, it keeps working for you behind the scenes. That is how you secure your future, to have a constant flow of revenue coming through that you can actually live on and survive on. That's how you secure your future, guys. That's where the real potential lies.
Absolutely. But let's get real. This is not a push a button and get rich quick scheme. You know, it's not like $1 million is going to fly out of the sky next week. If those really existed, everybody would be doing them. I mean, I know you see things in your news feed, just like we see things in our news feed promising, Lamborghini tomorrow. Well, that's just not realistic. That's a little over the top. And we just like to be very transparent with you guys. Now, our results aren't typical, but we're not typical people. What I mean by that is every single one of us in this community, and this is just a few, there are thousands and thousands and thousands. Every single one of us got to a point in our lives where we said, enough is enough. I'm done with the boss. I deserve more. And I want more for my family, kind of where I was. And we're all very, very different, but we all took action. We all drew that line in the sand and learned how to make money online. That's what's different about us, is we're action takers. And our system that you guys are learning about, hands down, proven to convert. Anytime I say convert, that means making money. But you guys, just like myself, which is really good news, are the only variable to this whole system. I had to show up in order to fire my boss in 6 weeks and 2 days.
You know what, guys, and as you're talking about that, Leanne, what I'm thinking to myself is this is really the difference between somebody who's an employee and actually a business owner. When you own a business, you are truly the master of your own fate, and you get to decide if you're going to get paid really what you're worth. I mean, if you walk into your boss's office tomorrow and you tell them that you want to make $10,000 extra a month, it's probably not going to be a very positive conversation. But when you own your business, you work for yourself, anything is possible, assuming you've got a system that actually works. And Leanne, you've nailed it. The system works. The real question is, who's going to use it? Folks, I hope some of you are waking up to the power here, because this just gets better and better the longer I keep talking. And the more I show you about this system, it's going to blow your mind. Here is a system where people are achieving incredible results. I mean, people work their entire careers, their entire lives, just to make 6 figures a year. I got people doing that in a month. I've got multiple people making 5 figures a month. That's easy in this business. But if you want to make real money, you've got to start working for yourself. It's that simple, guys. You've got to be the boss. So let's talk about how we can make that happen for each and every one of you. I'm going to start tonight with the 3 pillars to a successful business. I know we've got some people here for the first time, so I want to start off really simple first. If we're going to get you successful in any business, obviously we got to figure out what you're going to sell, come up with a product that people want. But also we need a system to introduce it to people, show them why they should buy it from you, and then ultimately figure out who needs or wants it the most. Now that's where it gets interesting. And as you can imagine, these look a little bit unique in the online space. So what Leanne and I are going to walk you through here now is exactly how they look online. So Leanne, let's start them off with the first pillar.
Okay, so let's talk about finding a product that people want. Now, as thanks to the internet, we can literally buy anything, anywhere, at any time of the day, and that's wonderful and that's beautiful. Well, as the online market develops, companies are trying to capitalize on this reality by setting up referral programs that actually incentivize online marketers like ourselves to drive traffic to their products. Now, here's a few very well-known companies that have referral affiliate programs. You've got Amazon, you've got eBay, Walmart, Best Buy, Apple. I could go on and on and on. And they're having a lot of success with them. They are. But there's also companies that we look at kind of as the middleman. They're affiliate networks. Now, these you may never have heard of, and if you haven't, that's okay. It's not going to affect your business. MaxBounty, ClickSure, ClickBank, again, those are just a few. But there is something interesting I want to show you guys. So you see we've got a sample URL here at the very bottom. The next time you go online to make a purchase, I want you to look at the top at the very end of that, after that URL, and if there's a series of letters and numbers, that's a code. That means typically when you make that purchase, there's an online marketer on the other end getting paid a commission. And these initials happen to be MRD. Those are Mike's initials on the sample URL. We want those initials to be your initials.
That's right, guys. You got to understand this, folks. There's basically two kinds of users on the internet. There's the people that are making money, and there's the people that are spending money. So you're all probably pretty good at spending money on the internet. The goal here tonight is to show you how you can start to make some money on the internet. So let's walk you through that. Basically, like Leanne says, the way we conquer this first pillar for any online business is to first check out the retailers that have the affiliate program. See if there's somebody out there you want to work with. Then, if you think you might want to diversify or you don't really know where to begin, you're going to check out the affiliate networks. And Leanne's listed a bunch here that you could look at. But there's one thing that you need to understand if you're going to work with a middleman, folks. It's this: they're not doing it for free. Any middleman is basically managing the relationships for you with the retailers. And so they're doing that for a cut in your commissions, and they're making your life a little bit easier in the process. It's basically a trade-off between more time, more money, less money. It's a trade-off that ultimately only the owner of a business can make, though. And that is really the whole key here. You are the owner of the business. You get to decide which is more important to you. So that's how you conquer the first pillar. Leanne, let's walk them through a little bit of the second pillar.
Okay, so let's talk about finding a way to tell people about your product. And I love talking about this because it comes down to the sales funnel, which really comes down to two other words: attraction marketing. And I think I am so in love with it, not only because it's one of the most powerful tools that you have in your business, but also because it's the complete opposite of what Mike and I used to do back in the corporate world, where we were going to endless network meetings, cold calling. I mean, nobody likes to do cold calling, pressuring people, and just that whole almost superficial interaction. Then you've got the other side where people are pressuring family and friends into buying this or buying that. Then all the tinklets in the back of the car and the trunk and the garage. It has nothing to do with that. You're literally attracting people to your product, service, or offer, as opposed to chasing them or pressuring them. That's the most important part.
And you know what? Nobody wants to be pressured these days, folks. I mean, consumers are so much more savvy than they ever used to be. They don't want to be convinced. They don't need to be educated. They've all got Google in their back pocket in their purse, on their phone. So it's critical that us as business owners, we recognize that fact. And, the concept of a sales funnel really isn't new. It's been around as long as there's been business. It essentially is just a process. A sales funnel is the process of converting a lead or a general kind of innocent bystander, licky-loo, tire kicker, who is actually going to then become a buyer. Obviously, somebody who makes a purchase puts cash in your bank. How do you convert a lead to a buyer? Well, back in the day, you really had no choice. You had to hire an army of sales agents who were professionally trained in how to close the sale. Those were the people who did the convincing. Those were the people who came up with the concept of the hard sell that we all find so repulsive these days. But the beauty of technology now is that we're able to come up with systems that engage our leads for us automatically. It doesn't take any time or effort on our side, but the customer still feels like they're getting that kind of live engagement, that kind of fast service that everybody demands and expects these days. So your systems are presenting people with all of the tools, all of the information, all of the resources that they basically need to decide if they like what they see, if they're in the right place at the right time, and ultimately if they're ready to buy. And if you're doing this properly, folks, your system is converting your people to buyers, and you're the person who will end up dealing with those buyers. You're not dealing with all the leads, you're just dealing with the people who are ready to make a purchase. Those are the people you want to spend your time with. And I'll be real, folks. I mean, if you're using an automated sales funnel system to do this, it's a little bit like printing your own money. It's that powerful.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And we use this as an example to really show you guys, would you trade a $5 bill for a $100 bill? Well, of course you would. Who wouldn't? Everybody would. But that's just an example of what a converting sales funnel can do for you in your business. It's just like this slot machine we're going to in Vegas, where you know every time you put in a dollar, pull down the handle, $100 is going to come flying out. That's the same concept, same thought process of what a converting sales funnel does for your business. But remember what I said. I said converting sales funnel, which means it cannot be just any sales funnel just thrown out there. It must be a converting sales funnel. And converting means it's working. It's making people money. So converting is really key to remember.
Now, this is probably a lot of new concepts for you folks. And so I want to kind of do a bit of a walkthrough just to kind of give you an idea of how these things work and what they look and feel like. Let me start off first by talking a little bit about what it takes to make an online sales funnel. It takes tech knowledge. Everything online does. Technical skills to build it, put in the coding that happens to make it run on the back end. But it's not just about making it. It's about making it also look good and especially appealing to those early adopters, those people who are going to buy it the fastest and give you the most amount of money for it. So now we're talking also about needing design skills and marketing skills. And what we really identified early on in our business was that most people don't have all three skill sets. And especially people who are never working in the online space before, they don't have this. But this is exactly what we wanted to solve for everybody. We wanted to remove these from the equation. And now we have. Now anybody can work online regardless of whether you got tech skills, design experience, or marketing know-how, because the system takes care of it for you folks. That's why we've built it the way we have. Remember, I said it can work for the everyday person, right? This is how. Now, how do we make sure it works? Well, we also hold your hand through the process. We help you get quality traffic coming to your business. We help you convert your traffic, convert your leads to become buyers by keeping them engaged long enough to actually become a buyer. That requires presenting them with possibly articles, podcasts, videos, whatever it is going to be there to keep your leads engaged and interested long enough to become a buyer. Now, that is no small process to take on. And to be honest, especially if you've never worked in business or in an online business fashion. So this is why we wanted to make sure we helped people with it. And folks, the system with the training and mentoring, oh boy, this will save you thousands of dollars, probably thousands of hours of testing as well. And in a lot of cases, maybe even a relationship or two, because this is stressful to go through on your own. So that's the second pillar. We could literally spend all night talking about sales funnels. I don't want to keep you here too long. Let's talk about the most important pillar, Leanne.
Okay, so let's talk about finding the right people to buy. Now, we've used the term traffic quite a few times so far in this presentation. What traffic means is just basically visitors to your website. Without traffic, nothing matters. Not that beautiful, shiny, sexy, converting sales funnel that I'm still in love with. Doesn't matter. You've got to have traffic. It's just like this. It's just like a shopping mall. You've got the stores. You may have the best sales going on. Well, if nobody's going to the mall, nobody's buying anything, nobody's making any money, nothing matters. Same thing in the online world. You've got to have traffic coming into your sales funnel or nothing matters. But I'm going to once again throw another little curveball at you guys. It can't be any traffic. It must be quality traffic. So converting sales funnel and quality traffic.
It's kind of like this, guys. Imagine you got a little business in that mall that Leanne's talking about. And let's say tomorrow you're lucky enough to have maybe even 1,000 customers come through the door and make a purchase. Sounds pretty good, right? Well, actually, it might not be. I mean, let's assume they're only each spending $1 with you. I mean, that's not actually very good at all, is it? You have to deal with 1,000 people just to make $1,000. If you've ever had a business, folks, you know $1,000 doesn't go very far when you're talking in terms of overhead, staff charges, insurance, inventory. It goes pretty quick. So quality traffic would look like this. 2 customers coming in the next day, spending $500 with you instead of $1 each. Now you're making the same amount of money and you're only dealing with a fraction of the amount of people. That's power. Because you know what? When you start getting quality traffic, you tend to be able to find more of it. So possibly finding 10 more customers to spend $500 with you suddenly ramps up your business on a whole new level, right? $5,000, you're still only dealing with 5 people. You literally can't go wrong. That is the power of quality traffic. That's why it's so important to convert your leads to quality traffic. All right. Hopefully that's becoming a little bit more clear now. This, folks, is why quality always trumps quantity, hands down. So let me do a real quick recap here for all of the newbies. Basically, your success path looks like this, folks. If you're going to get into the online space, we need to first identify what your offer is you're going to take to market. Then we're going to come up with a sales funnel system to convert your leads to buyers for you and put the best possible traffic in the funnel in the first place. What does that look like? Those are the people who need or want it the most. What is somebody's pain point? That's really the key to sales. At the end of the day, sales is really just helping people with their pain point. I'll use you as an example. We have about 400 of you on here tonight. I know you're all probably realistically looking for the same thing. You're looking for more time, more money, right? So it only makes sense that you're here tonight because you happen across one of these websites that was offering you a chance to come to a free webinar and learn how to stop stressing about your bills, start getting out of the 9-to-5 grind, and maybe even live life on your terms. Now, obviously, you couldn't go wrong because in this example, the webinar is free. So there's no reason why you wouldn't come to this session tonight. But the process is exactly the same for any business, guys. Identify what people are looking for or what their pain point is, provide them a solution. And the better you get at that and the better you show them how you can help them, the more you're going to make. And this is really the key to success, folks. This is the same process that every successful online or offline is using. And in the online space, because things happen so much faster, it just means that people get results that much quicker. Right, Leanne?
Absolutely. And now you guys know the exact 3-step system to success that people are using that are making 6 and 7 figures per month or year. Because remember, there is no cap to your income. You can make as much as you want. You're the boss. You get to choose how much you're going to put into this, how dedicated you are, and how much commitment you really have towards it. You are in charge. And you could do this all on your own with everything that we've laid out. However, there's 2 really big problems. For one, I will tell you that it takes a lot of time just to pull together the software systems that you're going to need to start setting up your funnel, to start building your funnel, which at the same time gets extremely expensive because you're having to pay for these systems, which isn't cheap. And you're paying for the systems, it's taking a lot of time, and that is without even getting it tested yet. So you're looking at conservatively about $22,000. And we threw together some numbers so you can kind of get an idea here. Just to set up your business, assuming you were going to do it on your own, the setup cost, you'd be looking at ClickFunnels, $3,600, Infusionsoft, $7,200, ClickMagic, $9,600, EasyWebinar, $1,200. Annually, $22,000, and that's just if you're going to set it up on your own. But the good news is you don't have to do it alone. We literally save you the money, the time, the stress by plugging you into our automated systems. And you know what it really comes down to? One of my favorite words: leverage. Working smarter, not harder. It just makes sense, not reinventing the wheel. If you're a fan of Robert Kiyosaki, who wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad back in 1997, he made a killing off that book, right? Well, over the years, he's added co-authors to the same material, refurbished the same information, put the book out, made a killing again. He didn't put in 60, 70, 80 hours to create and write that book again. He just didn't reinvent the wheel. He worked smarter, not harder, and made a killing again. That's what we're talking about.
It's really about just identifying what's available, what's at hand, and how you can make it work for you. Most of us are taught when we're kids, if you want something, you got to work hard to get it. And if you didn't get it yet, you've got to work harder. But the world has kind of gone a little bit upside down since then, guys. The people who work hard now, they really only, unfortunately, get taken advantage of by people who are working smarter, people who realize it's not about how hard you work, it's about leveraging what's out there and what's available to you and making it work for you. And this is essentially what you now get to do as well. You know, folks, you now have the opportunity to leverage us, to leverage our system and our experience to get the results that you want for yourself in your own business. You know, we have a whole community of people now who are doing just that. People all over the world using this system to achieve results, using our step-by-step training. The best part about this, guys, what that really means is you get plugged into a community of mentorship, people who are getting the kind of results that you want to get. And right there, that is how you can start making the same kind of commissions we do. I mean, upwards of $5,000 a sale. That's the kind of commissions I'm talking about here, guys. The best part about using a system like this, though, is you don't actually have to do the selling yourself while you're plugging into that kind of process and system. So the reason this works as well as it does for our people is because we take care of you. You know, all three pillars that I told you you have to have for your business to succeed, we built them into this system. Right from day one, we went out, we looked at all the products available, everything people were selling, what was making them the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. We looked at it all and we plugged in the best products we could find. On top of that, though, we also looked at all of the sales tools, all the software, all the tech that was out there. We ripped it apart. We made a unique platform just for our own members. And then training. You know, oh boy, we looked at a lot of marketing training, guys. And what we quickly realized was there's a lot of people out there selling marketing training that never even updated. So we put together our own, because this way now I can guarantee that it's getting updated on a constant basis. This is so important. You know, things change quickly in the online space, and it's just absolutely essential that your training keeps up with it. And that's exactly what ours does. Now, the best part about this, folks, when you plug into a system like this, is really the automation. And for those of you that have never made money while you sleep, or made money while you sit on the beach, or made money while you sit in the bleachers and watch your kids' hockey game, it might sound incredible to believe that you could actually make money while you're doing that. But folks, I'm here today to tell you it is all possible. In fact, it is so possible, it's going to blow your mind. And when you get a taste of it, you're never going to want to go back to working for somebody else again. I can promise you that. But at this point in the presentation, I think, you know, it really comes down to a really key question that we've got to ask all of you.
It really does. And this is a question that only you can answer yourself. 3 little words. Are you ready? You know, are you ready to figure out how you can plug into an online system that's creating massive success for a ton of people? Online freedom, allowing people to create their dream lifestyle, you name it. But the question is, are you ready? That's something very serious, very personal, because that's something only you can answer. And you don't have to answer out loud, just to yourself. So I want you to listen closely, because Mike's going to break it down and show you exactly how this works for you now.
Okay, guys. So here's what happens when you join our team. Number one, you get personal coaching and mentoring. Now, this is really important because most of the people we work with have never owned a business before, much less an online business. So we wanted to make sure you get that kind of personal coaching that is so critical to your success. But on top of that, we also want to make sure nobody gets left behind. Nobody gets lost in the cracks, as they say. So what we do is we assign every single person who joins our community, our system, a mentor. That's right. Every single person gets a direct mentor. But on top of that direct relationship with your mentor, you also get plugged into a whole community of mentors. Remember, I said this community spans the globe. Is absolutely incredible. Now, we're all going to get together every week. We get together and we make sure everybody stays on top of their game with weekly masterminds. Like I said, things change fast in the online space. I want to make sure you've got everything you need in order to succeed. These masterminds are how we do it. We hold them every week on Wednesday nights. If you can't make it, we also have replays, so don't panic. But we also have ones on Tuesdays for the newbies, and it's the same story. We want to make sure you've got everything you need at the earliest stages of your business to really get that kind of momentum that'll really get you achieving results in the shortest amount of time. But the training, I'm going to talk about this a little bit more as we get a little farther in. The training is literally just step-by-step video modules. And what we've put together are short little video segments that you can watch while you do the work. This just gets you up and moving that much quicker. And I think all of this works because it's not just a system, it's not just training, it's not just mentorship, it's also products. At the end of the day, if you don't have products, you're not getting cash in the bank. So the products that we've gone out and done the research on, man, this is what's going to get you the results. This is how you make those kinds of commissions. Like I said, upwards of $5,000 a sale. Heck, the numbers speak for themselves, folks. In the first 30 days we took the system live, we cranked out $1 million in revenue. That was in the first 30 days. And that was 3 years ago now. Folks, this thing has skyrocketed since then. And your timing could not be better. Boy, oh boy. By plugging in today, you have got a wealth of knowledge and experience behind you that, I wish I'd had when I first started. This is perfect timing for you guys. Now, let me get a little more specific. Aside from the coaching and mentoring, we actually do one other thing. We actually get on the phone with every single person when they join our system, and we have a one-on-one phone call to start you off. We want to identify exactly what your goals are for this business. Where do you want it to go, and how fast do you want to get there? Then we're going to put our minds together, and we're going to come up with a game plan to actually get you there. This is critical to your success. And in terms of all of our resources, well, the beauty of being part of a community like this is if you ever get stuck, a whole community has your back and can help you get unstuck. And all of the training, everything that we provide is all stored in one central member website. This is why it works for people all over the world. It really doesn't matter where you live or what time zone you find yourself in. Everything is available to everybody at all times. All the mastermind recordings, all the most up-to-date training, everything is in that member website. So if you need a refresh, it's all there. If you need new system training, it's in there. Everything you need is in there, and everybody has equal access. Now, the added training. The training we provide starts everybody off with a very key platform. You might have heard of it. It's called Facebook. We start everybody off on Facebook for a couple essential reasons. Number one, by far, it is still the biggest game in town. Nothing comes close to Facebook. The numbers are just not there for any other platform. Billions of people still use Facebook on a daily basis. And if you're not doing business on Facebook, you're literally leaving cash on the table. It's that simple. What I love about Facebook, though, is you're probably also one of those billions of people using it. And even if all you've ever done, folks, is keep in touch with your friends and family, that's okay. At least it means you've got some familiarity with Facebook. You've got a comfort level with Facebook. And that's going to give you the confidence just to get through the training that much faster, get up and running with your business, and seeing results that much faster. And the reason I think really that this works as well as it does for people, again, is the M word, mentorship. The fact that everybody gets a mentor assigned to them and gets plugged into a community of mentors is absolutely key. You know, you're going to be in business for yourself. But I can promise you this, you're never, ever going to feel like you're by yourself. We've got people who are masterminding from all walks of life, all different ages, all different languages. They love this stuff because they get to strategize with like-minded people. They like to share ideas and they move forward together. It really is impactful, and it is absolutely exciting when you're part of the process. Leanne, is there anything you want to say about the mentorship side?
There is, because this is mentorship is really near and dear to my heart because I've seen what it can and can't do. I've seen what it does when somebody actually has a great mentor, and I've heard what it does to people who were promised a mentorship and that just disappeared. I've heard a lot of that on coaching calls, and that's unfortunate. But if you've ever heard the saying that we are the sum of the 5 people we spend the most time with, I want you to take a look at that. So put yourself in the position, you are an online business owner, you are the boss, you've got a mentor who has the success, the results, they've paved the way, they've made the mistakes, they've told you what not to do, and they're sharing what is working for them. But you're also surrounded by other online business owners that may or may not be in your area. They're all over the world, but they're on the same journey, the same path to success. That's now your sum of the 5+ people you're surrounded by. You have no other choice but to go up. And, why in the world would you want to do this alone? We threw out the numbers. It was $22,000. That absolutely, is just to set it up, literally. That does not count the tens of thousands of dollars that we put into the training site that you're going to have access to, that you're going to be blown away by. That does not count the ongoing training, the mentorship. If you were going to go hire a mentor right now, you're looking at about $450 an hour. And of course, it does not include the weekly, bi-weekly masterminds and all of the support from the community. But you guys are getting the exact same system that I used to fire my boss in 6 weeks and 2 days. Everybody in this community is using, and we promise to save you money. So we're offering this to you for a one-time membership fee of $149.
Folks, this is literally the chance of a lifetime. Best $149 you'll ever spend in your life. I can promise you that. Now, I always like to make this absolutely crystal clear, because for some reason, one of the first questions we always get is this a monthly charge? No, absolutely not. Folks, this is a one-time membership fee. Think of it like this. It's kind of like buying a backstage pass to your future. This is the $149 that you're investing to changing everything. Not only for your life, your family's life. Now, here's how this rolls out, guys. When you click on that button that says join our team, you actually are joining a team of proven professionals who are achieving results and can help you do the same. Now, when you click on that button, what we're going to do is we're going to send you a series of videos that are going to walk you through everything in depth that we have covered here tonight at no additional charge. We've got a ton of people in here tonight, and some of you are here for the first time. Some of you are here for returning visits. Not everybody's at the same stage. So this way, we're not wasting anybody's time. For those of you that are interested, click the button, watch the videos. This way, you get to watch them from the comfort of your own home. You get to watch them with your spouse, your significant other, maybe even your kids if you want. Give them some time. A lot of people tell us they like to watch these things 5-6 times, and as you should. This is important information. And while you're watching those videos and taking your time, enjoying them, we're going to also slide in behind the scenes, and we're going to add you to our private Facebook mastermind group. This is that community of mentors that I keep telling you about that spans the globe. This is a secret group that only people who click on that magic button actually get to join. And then comes the third stage, folks, your very most important step. Scheduling that one-on-one coaching call. This is where we're going to put our minds together with yours, come up with a game plan to actually get you seeing results in the shortest amount of time possible. Now, you might ask, how can we talk about all of this with such certainty? Well, it's like this. We've been doing this for a while, folks. We are by far the biggest game in town. There's a lot of copycats out there, a lot of people that are trying to mimic what we do. And at the end of the day, it's a little bit dangerous, to be honest. When you're dealing with people who don't know what they're doing, quite often, they'll screw up yours as well. So be cautious. The internet space is a little bit like the wild, wild west still. There's a lot of people out there making a lot of claims that don't have anything to back it up. Please know this. Right from day one, we wanted to be different from everything else that was out there. That's why we spent so much time looking at what was out there. And what I found was, frankly, a little bit scary. And I want this to always be the most successful, the most transparent, the most respectful system that exists in the online space. I don't care where you come from. I don't care what your age is. I don't care what your gender is. I don't care about anything other than the fact that you are ready to make something happen for yourself. That's all that should really matter, right? Folks, if you are coachable and you are willing to learn, you are in the right space. We can help you, but you got to click on that button before we can. So here it is, guys. Now the chance is yours. Check it out. See what this can do for you. See what this can do for your family. And keep in mind, you don't need to be a technological guru to make this work. It's okay. All that we're asking is that you plug in and work with us so we can help save you some money, some time, probably a relationship or two because of the stress involved, and make things happen together. Folks, I want you to think just how good it would feel if you were our next job quitter. It is absolutely possible. Some of the people you see on this screen, you're going to be hearing from here tonight, guys. That's how powerful this program is. So, $149, folks. If it could change your life, isn't it worth it? I hope you'll agree it is. Leanne, let's walk them through one more time, everything they get for the money.
Okay, absolutely. So your one-time $149 investment gets you access to the huge Sleeping Giant products that pays those big commissions we talked about in the beginning. advanced Facebook advertising training, access to our bi-weekly masterminds and our ongoing mentorship, because we really don't go away, our automated business system, and on top of that, you guys also get your very own branded sales funnel that's been tested and proven to convert. Convert makes making money. Remember that. That's a secret sauce that people are using that are making 6 and 7 figures per month or per year. But a branded sales funnel is personalized. It's basically the best way to explain it is like handing over a personalized franchise to you. Everything about it is yours. It's got your name, your picture, everything is personalized to you. It's branded to you. You're the only variable. You're the one that's the action taker and has to show up to the business. But it gets even better than that. So we offer this. Once you hit that button, join our team for a full 30 days with absolutely no risk. You can go through all of those videos as many times as you want to, with whomever you want to, and we encourage you to. We want you to really, truly understand the business system, the business model, and really, really understand the commission structure, because I think you will be blown away. If for some reason, doesn't happen very often, but if for some reason during that 30 days you decide this just isn't for me, ask for your $149 back. We'd be happy to give it back to you. No questions asked, not even a big deal. The only caveat to that is after you've had your coaching call, at that point, it definitely becomes non-refundable, because we're really taking a look at what's going on in your life, where you are, what got you here, what your goals are, and we're going to come up with the quickest personal strategic plan to help you get there. So at that point, it's non-refundable. And I'll be honest, we do this for a reason. We set up this refund policy this way for a reason. So it would be no risk for you guys and for us, because we're looking to work with the people who are serious action takers who want to change your life. And I will tell you, the people that have the most success with this business are the people that are coachable. They're willing to learn. They are hungry for change, and they want something different in their lives for their future, for their lives now and for their future. And like I said, they're action takers, and those are the people that have the most success. And I will tell you, 3.5 years ago, when I was watching a workshop and I had no clue what I was comprehending. I was trying really hard, but I had never heard of a sales funnel and so forth. I did not follow my intuition at that moment and hit that button and plugged in. I would have never fired my boss. I would have never had the opportunity to work from home, work from my laptop, buy a new house, pay the house off, send my son to college, about to send my daughter. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Travel. I would have never had a quality of life. Bottom line, I would have never found myself. So if you have that intuition, that feeling, press the button. And congratulations to those of you that already are action takers, because I know there's a bunch of you out there. So I'll turn it back over to you, Mike, so everybody else can share their story.
Thank you, Leanne. Absolutely. There are a ton of you taking action already. I can see Darren keeping up with everybody here. This is the exciting part, guys. So not only now are you taking action, I want to introduce you to the people who already have taken action. We've got a whole panel of people here that have generously given us their time tonight. These people are at all different stages of the business. And some of them have been with us for longer than others. And so you're going to hear a whole mixed bag of results, as you should, because it's everybody's own unique business. All right. So I'm going to start right at the end here with Sarah, and then we're going to work our way all the way down to the end so you can hear from everybody. Sarah, start us off.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yep, you're good.
Great. My name is Sarah. I live in the central Okanagan in British Columbia, Canada. I love the fact that we get to say what country we're from now, because this has grown at an exponential rate just in the 16 months that I've been doing this business. In my previous career, I was a realtor. And for anybody who knows anything about real estate, there's a lot of throwing stuff against the wall and hoping that things will stick. There's a lot of driving people around to see different homes, and then maybe something happens in their life where they can't follow through on a purchase, or they walk into an open house and they buy that from the realtor who's hosting it. And the person who spent all that time and effort helping that person doesn't get paid unless they close a sale. So what I love about this business is that I don't have to sell anything. I don't have to be worried about whether or not, someone is going to be coming to me, because I do get a lot of leads and they do convert into buyers and into sales, but I'm not throwing stuff against the wall and hoping that it'll stick. It's, the training got me to the point where, the leads just come in, and that's huge. So I have been in the business for about 16 months. I actually had to go and get some accounting done because I'm looking at buying a condo in the next little bit here in a beautiful high rise downtown Kelowna. And so I needed to get some books done. And so far, year to date, I know people talk about monthly numbers. We've made $400,000 this year in Canadian dollars so far year to date. And it only took me about 3 months to start seeing a return on my efforts and to start seeing, the money come in. So, I know everybody says in this, Leanne and Mike, it's not a get rich quick, but to me, to be cashing checks just 90 days into a business that only took me really 2.5, 3 weeks to set up is a get rich quick. But I put in effort and I was coachable, and I'm having a lot of fun. I'm having so much fun. What I really love about this business, besides the financial gains that I've had, which, are so stress relieving, is the fact that I've made so many great relationships. You guys are going to hear from Kristen in a little bit. Her and I have talked plenty, bounced ideas off each other. And that human connection, even though we're working online, it's wonderful because I've met so many of the people who are in the business and running the business. We've gone to Mexico, we've gone to California, we've, are planning to go to Nevada next year, to do some masterminding. So, besides the money, obviously I've made an enormous amount of money, and that's huge. But for me, it's the relationships and the friendships that I'm building, and the fact that within our business community, the word community really means something. It's friendships. I'm friends with Darren and Mike. I'm friends with Leanne, and that is huge. To not just go to work. When you're working online, it can be a little bit, you're on your own doing it, but to have that human connection and the relationships that I've built is huge. I'm not a tech savvy person. I'm not tech savvy at all. I often will have to text my mentor, even today, like how to turn my camera on for this event. And, the fact that the training is so step by step, and it's really simplified for the person who's never done anything. So that was huge. Kind of rambling right now. Mike, do you want me to touch on anything or?
Yeah, Sarah, I'll tell you what, why don't you maybe kind of give everybody an idea of the time you spend in your business and how long it took you maybe to just kind of get started with things where you started really seeing results.
Yeah, for sure. So it took me about 2 weeks to get through the training. And then it took me 3 weeks to get my first check. But it was on my third month that I had my first, to me, really significant month. I made $5,000. And ever since November, I've always made at least 5 figures. I average anywhere from $35,000 to $50,000 a month. The training was definitely easy for me. And it's just been really, really good. And, going and seeing the money come in, it's very surreal for a long time. And now it's just normal. And like to have your new normal, to go to the mailbox and have $10,000 worth of income waiting for you, that's surreal for a lot of people, but that's my new reality. And it's so crazy. I just love this business so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. All right. Well, you mentioned Kristen. Why don't we get Kristen on here next?
Hi, guys. My name is Kristen Clark, and I live just outside of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I joined the business in February 2018, so I guess about 21 months now, coming up on my 2-year anniversary. And I had just gone back to work after mat leave with my second child, and I was just actually separated from my husband at the same time. So that's kind of why I got into it. I was looking for a way to make additional money. I was a little bit afraid of, paying a mortgage, actually 2 mortgages, because when I met my husband 6 or 7 years prior to that, I had a condo, and that's what I was living in. And then when I moved in with him, I kept it and I was renting it out. So I had that mortgage, but it was only a 1-bedroom. So I wasn't able to actually take my 2 kids and move into it. So when I left and became single, I ended up buying a little duplex. And so I went back to work after mat leave and started my journey at thinking about what to do to make additional money. So I did have a full-time job, but still bills are really expensive. And so I started out just wanting to make additional money. And my house was too small to do any kind of service from home. And I was talking to a lady at work, and a different lady overheard me and approached me later on and said that she had just started this online business. And she took me for lunch and told me a little bit about it. She gave me her website, and I put in my name and email address just like everybody else. And I watched this exact same live webinar almost 2 years ago. So I knew in my gut it was the exact right thing for me. I had always been an entrepreneurial spirit. My husband and I at the time had owned a business, and he was a furniture maker. And so I knew what that was like, and working from home. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to be able to volunteer at my kids' school. And right after I went back to work, I realized, coming home alone with 2 little tiny kids, so they were 4 and 1 at the time. They're tired and they're hungry from being in daycare and just wanted my time and attention. And it was really hard for me to cook and put them to bed all by myself in 2-hour span. So I was looking for a way to make my own hours and volunteer at their school and all that kind of stuff and get out of debt. And so that's exactly what I found. Honestly, I couldn't move fast enough. I watched a replay because I couldn't wait for the live one. I paid my fee. I joined. I got into the private Facebook group where I was blown away by all of the different people that were making this business a success. They were from all different walks of life, different countries, different ages. There was people that were great grandmas making 5 figures a month, all different education levels, all different industries, that sort of thing. So right after I joined, it took me about 4.5 weeks before I saw a return, before I made money. My first commission check was $1,240. And so for me, a single mom, that was amazing in and of itself. But, it just kept coming. So in a few weeks, I made more money. So it was literally my 5th month doing this. I was working this online business about 1 to 4 hours a day. And my 5th month, I made $9,000. And then my 6th month was just over $5,000. And then my 7th month, I made $25,000. So I know that seems a little bit too good to be true, but honestly, it did take a lot of time and effort. I would work the business when my kids went to bed, things like that. It was, I followed the training step by step. It's there, it works. I just did exactly what it said. And it was something I was super excited about, and I couldn't wait to wake up in the morning and see what had happened with my business. And like Sarah had mentioned, I've met so many amazing people on my journey, and I can't imagine my life now without them. Mike and Darren are amazing. You know, Sarah, there's just so many people. I've met Leanne in person. Love you, Leanne. We just got back from Galveston, Texas, and where we just celebrated our 3-year anniversary, and that was a ton of fun. So some other results I've had. So I ended up selling my duplex. I know I'm probably going on way too long. I'm sorry. I bought a house 12 months later. I also quit my job right after that and started doing this full-time from home. And literally like 9 months later, just this last September, a couple months ago, I moved into a bigger, better house. I've paid off all my debts, every single one except for my mortgages. I bought a new car. I've traveled lots. My biggest month was over $50,000. Am I frozen? A few of those I've had, and yeah, that's it. I think if you haven't already hit that red button beside you on the right there, you should absolutely do that. It's totally risk-free. You'll get your money back if it's something you don't want to do, but I think everyone deserves to get on the inside, see what our community is all about, you know, and take that leap of faith. So that's my story, and thank you guys all for listening and being here. And I hope to see you on the inside.
Awesome. Thank you, Kristen.
Can I just say I'm madly typing in the chat? So I will get to your questions, but there's a lot of people asking me private questions.
Darren types with 2 fingers. You
Yeah,
gotta be
I
patient.
still type like
And now he's used to typing with his thumbs on his phone. Tanya, let's get you on here next.
Hi guys, thanks for having me. I'm gonna apologize at the beginning. I might get emotional through this. I am about 8 months pregnant, and boy, the hormones are they're up there. So it'll be a miracle if I get through my testimonial here without getting emotional. But I'm gonna actually take you guys back to my story when I was in my early 20s, because I'd say that was a time of my life where I was really truly living my passion. I spent most of my early 20s out snowboarding, and then I would also go and spend a lot of my winters out working in either oil and gas or the construction, which I absolutely hated. But I did it because I wanted to be able to live the life that I wanted to live. And with a lot of the ski hill resort type of area, if you don't have a career or anything, the work that's available there is tourist work, and it's very seasonal, and there's not a ton of money to be made. So that's kind of a big part of my story about you know, where I've been in my life. And I've had lots of different jobs, from either tree planting in the summer or working in the construction industry. And with that kind of work, you give up a lot. You basically give up your life, and that you put in a lot of hours working, 3 months at a time. Sometimes with some of the jobs that I had, other jobs, it was like a 2 week on, 2 week off, but still you're giving up a lot. So anyway, after that, I had met my husband out in the construction industry, and after 7 years of being in, like, living that beautiful lifestyle of, living my passion and spending so much time on the ski hill, I realized that I wanted something more to life. And so I decided that I wanted to find a way to, find a career or start up a family or whatever. And I actually met my significant other on the pipeline. And so I spent 4 years out on the pipeline doing work that I absolutely hated, following my husband, helping him build his career in that industry. He went from working as an operator to now being in one of the most senior positions in that line of work. And, after 4 years of that, after 4 years of spending so much time there, doing a job that I really absolutely hated, I was really grateful for the fact that I was actually still working, because at the time, this is when oil started to slide in Alberta. Prices started to drop and stuff, so lots of people were losing their jobs and stuff. But on the same token, I was absolutely miserable inside. So I decided that I needed to find something different, and we were at the point where we wanted to start a family. So I decided that I was going to get into real estate, and I thought that would be like a really great way for me to be at home and have a family. So that's what I did. I studied and I got into real estate, started my real estate career, and soon after got pregnant with our first little one. And I was about 6 months into my maternity, and I really was feeling like I had made a big mistake coming into real estate for many different reasons. Mostly because I was living in an area that I had absolutely no support. So I didn't have any family or anybody. I was really new to the area, which was really hard to build a career in real estate. If anybody knows anything about that industry, you're putting in a lot of time and free hours into finding your clientele and stuff. And so I knew I didn't want to step back into that. And I started to look online to find something that was going to be suitable for me to be at home with my little guy. And lo and behold, I found this incredible opportunity to work online, just like everybody else has. I seen an ad on my feed. I clicked on it. I signed up. And I came and watched the webinar. And I couldn't have hit that button fast enough, honestly. I just knew that this was for me. Another big part of my story is actually when I decided to become a business owner, my husband was not supportive at all. He didn't quite understand, I don't think, the whole business concept because he's not a Facebook user. So for him, it was really scary. But I came into this without his consent, basically, because I knew that this was something for me. And that's why I want to talk to you guys about this, because I think a lot of people hold themselves back for things or hold themselves back from opportunities because of what other people think or because somebody else is holding them back. And I know that as a woman, I supported him through building his whole career. And as a woman especially, we tend to do that, right? We support, but we don't ever do anything for ourselves. So I just want to encourage those people that might be holding themselves back today from moving forward with this. If you really think that this is something you want, I encourage you to hit that button, come and see what it's all about. You have nothing to lose either, to come take a look and feed into your intuition, you guys, and just do it. So I'm going to leave it at that. I hope everybody's having an awesome night. And thanks again for having me, Mike, Darren, Leanne.
Awesome. Thank you, Tanya. I'm just waiting for the day that we do a webinar and suddenly I have a new baby on my hands on a panel. Irene, let's get you on here next.
Hi, everyone. Good evening and good morning in different parts of the world. I'm Irene Mendoza-Roll of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Thank you guys for being here. I know you made the right decision just being here and watch this webinar that all of us started to watch when we took our first step. I'm originally from the Philippines and came here in Canada 10 years ago as a foreign worker. And that was a tough decision for me because I need to be away from my family back home. And I just stayed for good because I know I can help my parents and my siblings back home more financially, even I'm far away from them. So things changed when we had our own family and buy our own house, pay our own bills, insurance, and other stuff like that. So we need to look for something else to supplement for our income. And luckily, my good friend just introduced me with this amazing business. And I did, and my husband did our due diligence to look if this is a legitimate business because there's a lot of things going on online. So we did our research and we found out how it works. So right off the bat, I jump in and do my training. I took 1 to 2 hours a day to do my training, and from there, I actually really love to be in this business because anybody can do it. We have the best training, we have the awesome mentorship, and just like the people here in the panel, and they are all inspiration to everyone here. We have the awesome community here, very helpful and very supportive. And the biggest impact of this business is not just financial support for our family, because I just got laid off last April of this year. That's the time we were very excited because we will be having our wedding last June. So when I just found out I'll be one of the people who get laid off, then yeah, we have no choice, but they let go people already. So this business is a very great help financially, especially on that rough time of our family. And also this has been a great help for medical support for my parents back home. And but the huge thing for this business is the people and the endless training that this business offered. So if you guys are, for you guys who are watching right now, please just pay the $149. You have nothing to lose, and just pretty much it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Irene. Wendy, let's get you guys on here next.
Hello, everyone. Good evening and good morning to some people in other parts of the world. My name is Wendy Self, and my husband is Michael Self.
Hi.
And we are in New Jersey, US. And we are happy and excited to be part of this business. We are business owners for about a year now, and we really, really love it. We love working together. Why we started this business is because we both were in the travel industry, and that took us apart from each other for quite some time. We do love to travel, but
not so far apart.
Not apart. We love to travel together.
There you go.
And working in travel and traveling separately, that took a toll on our relationship, on our marriage. And we decided, okay, we needed to do something about it. So that's when I started to look online. And that's when I found this business. And I must say, I am very happy. At first, we were skeptical.
Yes, I was. I'll admit.
But we researched it, we did our due diligence, and then we joined. And the training itself is very, very, it's step by step. It's very simple, very detailed. And it took us maybe about 2 weeks or so to finish the training and get set up very, very quickly. And our biggest payday so far, I think it's about $1,800. And we are excited with this business. We get to spend more time together, because before this business, we couldn't do that, like sitting right here, right now,
oh, no,
just relaxing. We couldn't do that. So we're really excited for this business. We get to spend more time together. We get to travel more. We get to spend more vacations together. And also, not just that, we get to help other people do the same thing. We get to help each other people realize their dreams and work towards reaching their goals and reaching their dreams. Now, in addition to that, the personal development that comes with this business is amazing, because there are lots of different areas of this business where you get to develop your personality, as I would say, or grow and develop yourself in this business. And in addition to that, I would say our retirement is coming soon. So we're really, really looking forward to that. And I encourage you, if you're there and you're skeptical, like we were, go ahead and join. Go ahead and pay that fee, because it's risk-free. It's fully refundable to you if you think it's not for you. Check it out for yourself. The training, the community behind this business, it's like family. And we're there to help and support each other. You feel the love in this community, which we really do.
And it's not much time a day. What do we do? About 2-3 hours a day?
About 2-3 hours a day on our business.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So take the step, take the first step, take that leap of faith, and do something for yourself. Do something today that your future self will thank you for.
Definitely.
Thank you for watching, and hope to see you on the inside.
Awesome. Thank you, folks. Katrina, why don't we get you on here next?
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yep, you're good.
Okay, I'm so excited to be here. I'm seeing a lot of people. I'm Katrina. I'm originally from the Philippines, and I'm now based here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I moved here with my family 3 years ago, and we're just so grateful we're able to come in here. It's a land of opportunity, but of course, with to be able to live the life that we want here, we need to be physically working, and that means sometimes most of the time we're away with the kids. I'm a mom of 3 right now, and so prior to I started this business April 2019 of this year, but prior to starting this, I'm an admin assistant in one of the investment firms here in Canada. And back in the Philippines, I shifted into different careers. I started at a television as a television production team, and then after that I was also a registered nurse back in the Philippines, and I also tried to be a life insurance agent. I got a little success in there, but of course in the life insurance industry you have to always prospect, and it's a challenging thing to do, right? And so here I stumbled upon, prior to starting my parental leave this year, I was looking for an online opportunity, something that I can do on the side while I'm at home. But so I was thinking of maybe I'm gonna do online tutoring, which I was also able to do back in the Philippines. But you have to be physically present for that. So that means I cannot. It's a juggle between time for your work and time with your kids. So, but I'm very thankful. I stumbled upon this opportunity through an amazing couple in our community, and I'm forever thankful for that. Yeah, so I started this basically to supplement our income as a family, and there was a point in prior to having my leave that I decided I don't want to leave paycheck to paycheck anymore. There has to be something out there, and yeah, because I also wanted to travel more with my family, with my kids, and also to help my parents back home in the Philippines. And most especially, I wanted more time for our church to do more ministry work. And you can't do that if you're all tied with your work physically, and you only have your weekends to rest. So that's a challenge. And so far, my biggest results, biggest one day, as in one day, I just got this in one day, is 1,240. And I'm so proud of that, because that's almost a 2-week worth of my work in my admin post. And there's what's exciting, it just keeps getting better and better. There's an upcoming 2060 in the mail. And what's so great about that is I have never ever left my now 9-month-old baby getting all those checks, getting all those profit from this business. And setting up this business, my baby was just 2 months old back then, And so I just sneaked on like 1 to 2 hours of my day when he's asleep, or usually at night. And I was up and running after almost 3 weeks. And after that, once I've started my ads, I got results on my second month. And I know the system works, but it gives you a very different feeling when you actually see the checks coming in. So that's really exciting. And aside from the financial aspect, so far this business, it makes me realize that yes, there is a better option out there. There's a better way to live my life, not just work, pay the bills, live for the weekends, and you just do it all over again. So there's a better way, guys. And what's surprised me the most as well in joining this community is the relationships, the community, the awesome community, the support, the relationships that you built along the way. So that's something really big. And if you have the right people around you, success just naturally follows. So I'm very up for that. And last but not the least is the holistic personal growth that I'm experiencing every single day now. I can't believe that I'm up almost 5 a.m. every day. I'm excited to start my day, and my mindset, my gratitude, my faith. It has like a huge transformation just all because of this business. So guys, if you want to change, so it all begins in your decision. Congratulations to all who's already taking action, and we're so excited to see you on the inside. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, Renee, bring it all home for us.
Hi, guys. I'm Renee. I'm from Whitby, Ontario. My husband's Bill. He works with me in the background, more supportive than anything right now since he's still working. But anyway, I clicked the link last January, December 10th last year, just before Christmas. And I didn't tell my husband. So he was away working in Manitoulin Island with a nonprofit that he was working with at the time. And I watched the webinar and I thought, wow, this really seems cool. But I was pretty skeptical. So I did some research and did my due diligence and checked out Darren and Mike and Leanne. And I thought, wow, this is really something. And so when he came home, I said, okay, I've bought into this system and you're going to watch these videos with me because I want to know what you think. And right away, he was like, okay, this is it. Let's sign it. Let's get this going. So we did our coaching call and we bought in just after Christmas, mid-January, I guess. I got things up and running. I guess it was probably the end of February by the time I had things up and running. And we started seeing results in August. But funnily enough, I spent the summer 7 weeks at a children's camp with my sister. She is the head cook there so that my nieces can go to the camp for free. She asked me to go and help her. And I was able to do that because I ran my business from the camp. So I worked about an hour a day on the business. And I started seeing results right away during that time. The people that I've met in this business are amazing, as everybody has said. The community is something that is second to none. Everybody is so helpful and positive. It's funny, Kristen was mentioning Galveston. We went to Galveston to celebrate the free year, and I just got home yesterday, and I met some wonderful, wonderful people. And the ladies I shared the house with, they all made me want to be a better person, and that's one of the best things that comes from this business is you want to be a better person. It's just incredible, the personal growth that happens. The money is amazing, but that's honestly just the icing on the cake. I got into it for the money, but I'm finding that the money is just a tool to get free and be able to do what we want to do, and the personal growth and the friendships and the community are the best. So what I've learned from being around all these wonderful people is I come from the energy healing background, and I kind of snottily, when I first got in here, thought, well, I know all about what this law of attraction stuff means. But, and I did, but this has just helped me even to grow even more. One of the things I try to do now is to stay in the question. So instead of making judgments, which close doors, I try to stay in the question as in, what else is possible? How can it get any better than this? So whether I'm having a good day or a bad day, or there's a situation that's positive or negative, it's always, how can it get any better than this? Because I don't know what the universe has planned. So I just let the universe figure it all out. Case in point, when I was heading to Texas, I missed my flight in Detroit, and there was only one more connecting flight that day. And I had all of these ladies at the other end in Houston who were waiting for me to rent the car and drive them to Galveston. And I was in kind of a panic mode, and I was all, upset. And I stopped and I took a big breath and I said, okay, this is the situation, but how can it get any better than this? So what ended up happening is I met one of our housemates at the gate where I was waiting to get on standby to get on the flight that was leaving. And also, when I finally did get put on the flight, I got to ride in first class. So the mindset part of this business is phenomenal. The money is phenomenal. My best month so far has been $1,680, but things are rolling along quite well, and I can see things getting even better and better as time goes on. I think that's about all I have to say. Our why really was we are close to retirement, and with a real estate deal that went south for us and we lost quite a bit of money, tens of thousands of dollars, we needed to figure out how we were actually going to leave the workforce. So this was, when this came up, it was a gift. This is how we're going to do it. There's no plan B for us. We're making this work, and we're loving it so far. I think that's all I have to say, Mike.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, Darren, let's bring it all home.
And when she says $1,680, she means $1,680, not $16.80, just to clarify that.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's why we do these webinars live. People are always messaging me in the chat room that they're skeptical and they're not sure about this, and they've tried all these other things and they don't work, and that's why you're here watching this, because the other thing that you've tried before isn't working for you. Mm-hmm. So this is our only way to prove to you that it does work, because people want the proof, right? Well, the proof is hearing from all the different people using the system, and we do these webinars twice a week live. Every week, we never miss it, even if there's a holiday or whatnot. And we've done this for over 3 years now. We just had our 3-year anniversary, and we're not going to stop. And we've always got different people cycling through, because there's thousands of people using the system successfully now. And, some people you hear from on one webinar, they might have been doing it with us the whole time, for the full 3 years, and other people are newer. And there's always a different mix of people, so that, hopefully you can realize that you can do it too. It's a pretty simple business. I always, I worked online for 10 years before Mike and I started doing this together. And this is the easiest thing I ever done compared to anything else. So, and I've seen everything out there. So it's, and we set this up so that it is risk-free. We want people to check it out. We want you to click on that join link in the chat, get all the rest of the information, because we send you another 2 hours worth of videos to watch that talks about the products. We've got 3 income streams now. We just launched another one. And we can't cover all that on one webinar. It would be way too long if we added another 2 hours on here, and nobody would sit around watching us for 4 hours. Well, I hope you wouldn't. Most people, I hope, have a life. There's way better TV on than us, right? So,
hey, this was great.
I know I'd rather be watching Will and Grace right now. But anyway, I digress. So that's why we have to break it up. We only want the serious people who are going to take that next step, because the serious people, those are the ones that do really well with this. It's a real business, and you have to treat it like a real business and put the time and effort in. It's like anything in life. The more you put into it, the more you get out of it. Yeah, can you work 30 minutes a day and still make money doing this? Sure. But are you going to make 50 grand a month like some of the people down here? No, those people are working it like a full-time job, but they're making crazy money, 5 figures a month. If you're only going to put in the minimum, you might only make a few extra hundred a month or a couple thousand extra a month. But again, that's not up to us to tell you anyway how much time you want to spend on this. You're totally welcome to do it on the side. A lot of people do. Some people only need a couple $100 extra a month just to
pay for groceries.
Yeah, exactly, just to make it work. So that's whatever you want it to be. You can do it part-time, you can do it full-time, you can transition into full-time like Kristen did when she quit her job and started doing this instead. We have now hundreds of people that have done that and quit their jobs and are all doing this. So it's a pretty amazing business, and you'll get to meet a whole lot more of the people once you get on the inside. When you join, we add you to our private Facebook group, and so you get to see a whole bunch more stories there. A lot of you did already join tonight, so congratulations. And if you didn't get the email already with your next steps, you'll get it within the next few minutes. And one of the steps in there, I was just telling Emmy in the chat room, it's really important to friend your coach on Facebook. And if you're using a different name on Facebook than what you just signed up with, like Emmy did, then please send that coach a message and let them know that you signed up with one name and then your name on Facebook is a different name for privacy reasons or whatnot, just so we can connect the dots on our end. Otherwise, it just looks like the coach is getting a random friend request and we don't know who you are, so they might not accept it. So that's it. I think we covered everything. So thanks for spending your Thursday evening with us. And if you're still unsure or don't know if this is real, we'll be back here again Tuesday and Thursday next week.
Absolutely. Well, there you have it, folks. We promised to get you out of here in 90 minutes, and we did it. I hope we've opened your eyes up to the potential of working in the online space, and most importantly, working in the online space on this platform, because this is the place to be. If there's anything else that was out there, you'd be doing it. So would we. The fact is, we're here. We've been in the online space for this long. Believe me, if there was something else that paid this well, I would go do it, but there's not. So if you're serious about your success, guys, this is it. Let's do it. Let's do it together. We'll see you out there on the other side. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.